What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Sunday, January 30th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 5-game slate here tonight. Remember, everyone's going to be focused on those big NFL playoff games. So this is your opportunity to get a leg up on the rest of those NBA DFS lineups. So make sure to check the injury news right before tip-off. And if there's some late-breaking injury news, chances are you're going to be able to pivot to some players that are going to have much lower ownership than they normally would. So I love these games that come on these big NFL playoff days because they just seem a little bit easier. The field is not as sharp on these days. So let's get into it. At the point guard position, I like Jalen Brunson from the Dallas Mavericks playing the Orlando Magic, who have the 5th worst defense overall. They give up the 12th most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Jalen Brunson has averaged 30.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He's projected at 32 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 6,200 DraftKings salary, 600 less on FanDuel. So I love that FanDuel price. And Jalen Brunson has scored 30, 47, and 27 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 34, and 36 minutes. Vegas thinks there's going to be 211.5 points scored in this game. Now, this game is a back-to-back, but I checked Jalen Brunson. I checked his game log, and he plays just about the same amount of minutes as he does on a normal game on back-to-back games. So he's good to go. And he scored 34 and 39 fantasy points in his last 2 games versus the Magic. So I like Jalen Brunson here versus the Orlando Magic. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. So here's a value play for you. Kind of a high risk, high reward play, but he did stick out as a pretty good value play here tonight. So take a look at Isaac Okoro from the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Detroit Pistons, who have the 6th worst defense overall. They give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Isaac Okoro has averaged 18 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. He's projected at 19 fantasy points here tonight, which is just about 5 times value. He's 3,900 DraftKings salary, 100 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 212.5 points scored in this game. And Isaac Okoro has scored 15, 27, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 28, 32, and 35 minutes. So he's playing plenty of minutes. He's got some decent upside here at this low price point. He scored 23, 11, and 26 fantasy points in his last 3 games versus the Pistons. So you're really looking for 20 fantasy points or more here, which I think he can get there. So I like Isaac Okoro here versus the Detroit Pistons. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. Where's my small forward? There he is. I like Grayson Allen from the Milwaukee Bucks playing the Denver Nuggets. Oh, and this is another value play. The Nuggets have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing small forwards. Grayson Allen scored 32 fantasy points last game. He came back from injury and played 30 minutes. This is not a back-to-back, so I'm hoping that he's going to get another 30 minutes in this game. And he's averaging 21.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He's projected at 20.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's just about 5 times value. He's 4,200 FanDuel salary, 400 more on DraftKings. So I like Grayson Allen. Oh, and Vegas thinks there's going to be 226.5 points scored in this game. So a relatively high scoring game here. So I think he makes a decent value play. So I like Grayson Allen here versus the Denver Nuggets.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. Here's another value play, more of a mid-range play, but he's playing pretty well lately. Not so well last game, but that was a back-to-back. So I like Jared Vanderbilt from the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Utah Jazz, who have a good defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing power forwards. Jared Vanderbilt has averaged 24.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with an 11% usage rate. He's projected at 26.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,200 DraftKings salary, 1,600 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 226.5 points scored in this game. And Jared Vanderbilt has scored 17, 27, and 45 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 28, 30, and 35 minutes. So I like Jared Vanderbilt here versus the Utah Jazz. Now I also like Keldon Johnson, who is only 5,400 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. He scored 38 and 34 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 39 and 36 minutes. So he's playing a ton of minutes, and he's been on a roll lately. And I think there was one other guy. No, those are the 2 power forwards that I like that are good mid-range or value plays here on this slate. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Bismack Biyombo from the Phoenix Suns playing the San Antonio Spurs, who have the 7th worst defense overall. They give up the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing centers. Bismack Biyombo has averaged 26.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 23 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. He's projected at 30.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.3 times value. He's 5,800 DraftKings salary, 300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 229 points scored in this game, and Bismack Biyombo has scored 30, 28, and 37 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 29, 29, and 31 minutes. So he's playing well over his season average in terms of minutes, and that's translating into about 25 to 30% more production here for Bismack Biyombo. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 229 points scored in this game. It's a good matchup, fast-paced game, high-scoring game. So I like Bismack Biyombo here versus the San Antonio Spurs.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.